So we'll talk about the cardiovascular system. Cardiovascular system is a closed system of the heart and blood vessels. The heart pumps the blood. Blood vessels allow blood to circulate to all parts of the body. And then the cardiovascular system is to deliver oxygenated blood throughout the body in order for them to function well. So the heart is located at the thorax between the lungs, the mid-sternal line, second rib of the sternum. So this is the heart. The heart is about the size of your fist. So this is the size of my heart and less than 1 pound. So the heart has coverings. First is the pericardium. The heart also has 3 walls. The epicardium, which is the outside layer of the heart, the myocardium, which is the middle layer of the heart, mostly cardiac muscle. Then the endocardium, the inner layer or the endothelium. So, this is the external heart anatomy. The superior vena cava, the ascending aorta, the right pulmonary veins, the right atrium, right ventricle, and the inferior vena cava. So this is the aortic arc, the left atrium, the left ventricle, and the apex, which is the point. So the heart has also chambers. First is the right and left side act as separate pumps. The 4 chambers, the right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle, and left ventricle. The atria, the right and the left atrium is the receiving chambers, whereas the left and right ventricles are the discharging chambers. And now we will talk about how the blood circulates throughout our body. First, as the heart pumps, but the blood circulates throughout the body. So first, the deoxygenated blood from the body goes to the vena cava, then enters the right atrium and fills the right ventricle. As the muscle contracts, the blood flows to the pulmonary arteries and goes to the lungs in the capillary beds where the gas exchange occurs. So if we're going to trace the blood flow in our body, first the deoxygenated blood from the body goes to the vena cava. Then it enters the right atrium and then the right ventricle. Then enters in the pulmonary arteries and goes to the lungs, where the capillary beds of lungs, where the gas exchange occurs, where the oxygenated blood becomes oxygenated and the oxygenated blood becomes deoxygenated. As the blood becomes oxygenated, it flows through the pulmonary veins, then enters to the left atrium, then goes to the left ventricle, then towards the aorta, then through all parts of the body, where the blood again becomes deoxygenated and goes back again through the vena cava, and the circuit repeats itself again. So after the blood circulation, after we trace down the blood, we're going to talk about the heart valves, how it works, how it functions. So the heart has two valves, the atrioventricular valves between atria and ventricles, and the semilunar valves between ventricle and artery. So the atrioventricular valves on the right side here in this part is the tricuspid valve, whereas in the left side is the bicuspid valve. So let's focus on the operation first of the AV valves here. So the blood returning to the heart fills the atria here, putting pressure against the atrioventricular valves. So ang valve nagiging forced open or naaaberhiya, which makes the blood flows throughout the right ventricle. So as the blood na fill apnea and right ventricle, and tricuspid valve magiging close kay mapupuno naman na sakob, so it automatically close. So as the atria contract, mas damo it nasusulod na blood ha right ventricle. Same as nga diha left atrium, naabre ang bicuspid valve as the atrium contract. So nunganay la inihira, tapos maabre nga di ang tricuspid nga bicuspid valve, so ma-enter ang blood. As the more nag-contract ang atrium, the more blood will flow out from the left and right ventricle. So napupuno, then the valves closes. So as the ventricle contract liwat, it forces the blood against atrioventricular cusps. So amo adto an AV valves nagko-close. So di na makasakuban ang mga blood tikang ha atrium. So as the chordate tendinate tighten, so ang ventricle liwat ang nagko-contract, ma-open liwat ang valve nga di hanka ng semilunar ng pulmonary and aortic valve. So adi na kita didi. So as the ventricle contracts, amo na adto maabrian kanan pulmonary semilunar valve nganan aortic semilunar valve. An aortic is away from the heart and pulmonary is from the heart. So maabri nahan mga valve, then goes to the parts kung hain na na-assign. So an aortic nganto ha magdi-deliver nahan oxygenated blood nganto ha body, well ha pulmonary makatuan ni halangs para maging oxygenated. Tapos as the ventricle relax na ang ventricle, the intraventricular pressure falls, so nabalik na liwatan ang blood, ma-feel na liwat nga daha atrium, then the same goes cycle again and again. So ito nit how the heart contract nga ano ang gamit ang mga valves from pulmonary to aortic semilunar valve, tapos an atrioventricular valves, which is the bicuspid valve and the tricuspid valve. So after we tackled the an operation on heart, so makadto kita paano it heart mag-work, or kay it heart is an involuntary muscle. So amo ini an pacemaker and heart. Duha pacemaker and heart, which is the sinoatrial node and the atrioventricular node. Ini nga mga pacemaker heraan bagat kun ha kuryente, herat electricity para magkamay ada suga. So hera it nagkakandakin electricity para an muscle ha heart mag-contracts. Amad to nga ma-enter mga blood kadto. Tas may dainihera mga sumpay like the atrioventricular node adi an akadiha atrioventricular bundle, tapos then the Purkinje fibers. So damay nihera nga nagiging conductor hin electricity para an heart mag-pump diri nag-stop bisan di mo mako-control an pagpumphan imo blood an imo heart since it is involuntary. So an heart, the blood in the heart chambers does not nourish the myocardium. An heart kuno is may the own nourishing circulatory system. So ini an heart has the nourishing system, amo ini an coronary artery. So this is the left coronary artery, the right coronary artery, and the great cardiac vein. Amo nera nagprovide nourishing effect han aton heart para diri hiya maubos nin. Mag-work hiya efficiently han iya function. So, may dakita ang heart cardiac cycle. So, atria contract simultaneously. Hera. Tapos, if the atrium relaxes, ang ventricular at magko-contract. So, amo to nang tinatawag nga systole, which is the contraction. And then the diastole, the relaxation. So, amo ini ang feeling of heart chambers in the cardiac cycle. So amo ini ang left atrium left and right atrium fills the blood ngadi, tapos masusudlan, tapos magko-contract the ventricle, then blood will flow out to the pulmonary vein and aorta, then ang cycle ma-repeat, ma-internal ang blood ngadi ha right atrium. So syempre may dagap kita na encounter na mga problem ha aton heart. So damage to AV node, magiging slow ang heartbeat ang aton heart. Tapos slower heartbeat can lead to fibrillation. And fibrillation is lack of blood flow to the heart. Kasi syempre naapektuhan man AV node, which is the pacemaker, so mas nagiging slow ang pagbeat ang heart. So nagkakamay ada lack of blood flow. Tapos kung unbeats ang heart is more than 100 beats, tawag ito na iya is tachycardia. More than 100 beats. Kung less than liwat is bradycardia. Kung less than 60 beats per minute. May dapat kita another problem of the heart, which is the congestive heart failure. Damo pa ganito nera pero gutay lang ditak mayakan like this is the congestive heart failure. So decline in pumping efficiency of the heart, which results to inadequate circulation. Tapos nagkakamay the high blood pressure and history of multiple myocardial infarctions. So, on left side fails on pulmonary congestion and suffocation. Left side, inhale. Di rin na hiya nagpa-function well. So, nagkakamay-ada pulmonary congestion. Tapos, nasusuffocate na. Kung it right side fails, liwat, and peripheral congestion and edema. Ang edema is nakubang. So, ang imo heart is magkakamay-ada. Mag-iiba its shape kay mas mahubag man nga di nga side. So, amo to nagkakamay-ada ka congestive heart failure. So, after we tackled all about the heart, syempre, dere malat heart, it part it cardiovascular system. Adigapon ang blood vessel or the vascular system. Ang cardiovascular system, and taking blood to the tissues and back. And iya kinds the arteries, arterioles, capillaries, venules, and veins. So the vascular system, the vein and the artery. Notice the difference between them. Tunica media, vein is thinner than the artery, which is thicker. Tapos, artery is made up lamina, vein waray. Tapos, may niya internal elastic lamina, an artery and vein waray. Then, notice gap na it artery gutaylat space. Compared han vein nga dako its space. So, the three layers of blood vessels is the tunica interna, tunica media, and tunica externa. Tunica interna is the endothelium, the media is the smooth muscle cell, the tunica externa is the fibrous connective tissue. Then, walls of capillaries are only one cell layer thick to allow for exchange between blood and tissue. Tapos, lumens of veins are larger than the artery. Amo na inan space kanina na akong ginayakan. So, makadikitahan movement of blood through the vessels. Most arterial blood is pumped by the heart. Pero ang vein, ginagamit gap ang milking action of muscles to help the blood move. So, as the blood flow enters this vein, it goes here and then it opens through muscle contraction. Then, as the muscle contracts, the blood flows out through the valve, then to another blood vessels again. Bagalaya hit my heart, may dagap niya valve nga nag-open and close. Nagko-close siya nga di para tira na sumakaban-iba na blood kay adila di ma-open. So bagat alternate. So amay tanong movement of blood through vessels. So cardiovascular system gihap matatadan vital signs, which is the arterial pulse, blood pressure, the respiratory rate, body temperature, and all indicate the efficiency of the system. So with pulse is the pressure wave of blood. May dakita different pulse sa aton body. Asya ini ang pulse temporal, which is the temporal artery, hanawong and facial artery, and here, which is the most common, carotid artery, tapos sa brachial artery, the radial artery, kung kita nakuhahin pulse rate, tapos sa femoral artery, the popliteal artery, the posterior tibial, and dorsalis pedis artery. So, of course, we talked about all the arteries in our body, the pressure or the pulse, So blood pressure is the measurement by health professionals are made and the pressure in large arteries. Most of it is here in the brachial artery BP. So the systolic ang pressure at the peak of ventricular contraction. So ang ventricle ang nagko-contract amo ang systolic. Ang diastolic pressure when ventricle relaxes. So the most normal or human normal range is from 120 mmHg systolic and 80 mmHg diastolic, so 120 over 80. When you are experiencing hypotension, low systolic below 110. So, may dinaiton associated with illness. Kung hypertension liwat or high blood pressure, high systolic over 140 and systolic. It can be dangerous if it is chronic. So, adding again an aton discussion about the cardiovascular system. I hope I gave you knowledge on how the heart works, how the blood flows through our body, how the oxygenated blood becomes deoxygenated, and then the oxygenated blood becomes oxygenated. So that's all for today. Thank you.